Afternoon everybody, Rich here, back for another video for the Diecast F1 review. Here today is the Renault R29 from the 2009 Formula 1 World Championship. And this model is by Norev, or however you like to pronounce that word there. I think it's Norev or Norev, I don't know. I've already reviewed the R28 by Norev. Don't know the pronunciation of it. But anyway, this is Fernando Alonso's car from 2009. And it was one of the ugliest cars of the era, and well, it's still pretty ugly now if I look at it. Yeah, the car was launched, one of the first cars launched for 2000. I think it was one of the first, or was it one of the last? I don't know. But it did cause a bit of an upstir with the ridiculous livery, the god-awful nose on the car, and at the end of the year the god-awful performance of it as well. I think only 29 points scored throughout the season, all of which were scored by Fernando Alonso, as Nelson Piquet Jr. was just useless in the car, and eventually they replaced him with Romain Grosjean, who turned out to be equally as, although inexperienced as well, to be fair. He was pretty clumsy as well, although saying that he's pretty clumsy when he came back as well. But yeah, the car was awful. Only one podium throughout its season as well. I think that was third place at was it Singapore? I think it was. And then I think pole position in Hungary, which was a good result. Then again, wasted by a loose wheel nut during the race. Of course, the wheel rolling off, causing quite a stir as well after a weekend of controversy and, well, not so much pretty much tragedy as well. Wheels being loose at the time was quite difficult to come by, because we'd had Felipe Massa's accident the previous day at that weekend, where he had got hit on the head by a spring from Barrichello's car. And the previous weekend we had lost Henry Surtees as well, because he got hit on the head by a flying wheel as well. And this review comes just a week after we lost Justin Wilson as well to the same fate, although not a wheel but a piece of a car hitting him on the head. So it's quite a difficult, touchy subject, loose wheels and loose debris hitting a driver's head. But yeah, back to the car. The car, of course, was a lemon. It was remembered as a lemon, and it will always be a lemon. But it does look good in the box though. And I do like this box. It's of course by whoever that name is, Norev, don't know. The box is bright yellow, as with ING Direct. ING Renault F1 team. There ain't much on the box, as you can tell. So most of the guff is on the bottom there. We've got all the guff there, the Renault R29 badge. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The internals of the box though are pretty good. If we just work out how to open it, there's a tab on the back there, and then the side opens there. That opens, and then another flap opens, and then all comes out there. And it comes out in this large cradle-y system there. It comes out. Let me just turn it around actually. And there we go. There we go. It comes out in this scaffolding with the Renault F1 team badge on the bottom there. Pardon me. But yeah, it's not bad. Not a bad model. Actually, the box isn't that secure because there's dust on the tyres. But it ain't too bad. I do like the scaffolding there. It just gives strength to the box, because the box is actually paper thin. So there we go there. If I just turn around to the nose, you can see how wide the nose is and why people didn't like it at the time. Even the side pods look a bit weird. But it is a bit iffy. I'm just going to do a quick jump cut while I remove this car from the base, and then we can have a play with it. So back in a moment. Okay, here we are. The car all released from its packaging. And I have to say, when I released this, well, when I unscrewed it from the box, I realised how heavy it was. It really is a heavy car in the back. It's all metal, whereas the Minichamps version, yes, Minichamps did release a version of this car, did seem a lot more plasticky, but I'll do the comparisons later on. Although I don't have the Minichamps version, I did have it for a little while and then sold it to my brother because well, he wanted it more than I did. Then again, he did buy me this one for Christmas Day. But yeah, it's not a bad model. If you're a bit anal with quality of models, then this one's not for you. I mean, this is more of a Mattel model than a Minichamps model. The build quality is pretty good. I mean, it's a real tough model. If you go to the Minichamps model, I'm pretty sure this shark fin is plastic, but on here it is solid die-cast metal. We just do a quick zoom around to the other side. I say the build quality is not isn't too bad. Just the materials they use. I mean, the tyres are shiny plastic. They've improved the tyre decals from the previous model, which was the R28. They've made them more realistic, but the tyres themselves are too smooth and a bit too flat as well. They're not. They are a bit iffy, but so they're not as bad as they are on the R20, the R30. Sorry. So I'm just sort of jumping a bit too far ahead with the my opinions here. Tyres ain't too bad. They just feel a bit too plasticky. And the front wing is also another bit of concern as well. I mean, it is very flexy, as you can see. And it's sort of a thing with the real cars as well. I mean, on the real cars, when they made these wings that wide, they were very flexy as well. A few issues with the car moulding or detailing of the car. The Minichamps version sort of is designed based on the race version, whereas this one is sort of the launch version. Saying that the launch version had the breeze block nose. If I just turn it around, you can see how weird this nose looks, and you can see it is the sort of the launch version. By the time they got to racing, they had revised the nose and put a bit of black paint on it to make it look less garish. So it is quite an odd looking nose. It really is wide as well. It sort of gets wider the further up to the tip it goes. And also with this version, there is no barge boards by the wing mirrors. You mean on the Minichamps version and on the real car as well, they did have the vertical planes attached to the side pods here. And also on the race version as well, there's more removed bodywork around here as well. I'm not really sure. I haven't really done my proper research on this car, but there's all the bodywork around the exhaust to the rear axle is all covered with. Well, there's actually bodywork there. Whereas on the Minichamps version and on the later race version, this is all open, probably for cooling. I think it's just part of one of the updates they made throughout the year. Also, the rear wing's a bit flexy as well. One of the plus sides this car has over the Minichamps one is the application of the decals. The decals are not going to peel off. I know when they released the Minichamps version, there were a lot of people sending them back because the decals, especially on the engine cover, were just peeling off for no reason. They weren't applied properly and they were peeling off. Whereas on this one, they are either painted on or just very well applied. They will not peel off just by looking at them. They will not peel off if you try and scratch them off either, so I'm not going to do that, but they are very well attached. And it's one of the plus sides of this model. Just do a quick zoom around here. They've done better detailing with the cockpit as well. We just do a quick zoom in here. They've actually put a seat in this one as well, so you can see the seat, the seat belts, and a non-painted steering wheel. A bit daft, but there you go. And it's also a shame that this car doesn't have a driver in the cockpit either, but no biggie there. The front suspension is a bit flexy, but the steering itself is quite solid. Well, I'd say solid. The right front wheel is a bit spongy, but no big issue there. It does roll quite nicely, although you're not going to be playing with it along the carpet. And it is quite a rare model as well. You do look at these on eBay and they do not come up very often. You tend to get just repaints of the Minichamps version, which is repainted into about 10 different models. You tend to get the show cars and things like that as well. But yeah, this one is, let's not say it's sought after or it's highly on demand, but it is quite a rare model. And I'm happy with it. You know, I did have the Minichamps version, but this one just sort of stood out a bit more to me. Probably because of the rear bodywork where it goes, there's more bodywork to the car. The only issue I find really is the tyres. But there is a bit of strange moulding work down by the front of the side pods as well. It just looks sort of jagged and not very well finished. If you can sort of see, it sort of looks just a flat edge going under curve. It doesn't look very good, but overall it's not too bad. We just do another quick zoom around. We do a look underneath, and God, this car's heavy. If we look underneath here, we've got all the detailing, little rivets and things. Got the ING Renault R29, 118, and of course you got the diffuser, which of course were changed through 2009. The rear diffuser there. Look around the rear wing. I'm not doing a very good job here, I must say. Look at the car from this angle. You've got the large bodywork panels around the sides. And really is quite a bulbous looking car. I'll just try to get the camera straight because it's on a funny tripod. Here we go. There we are. That's the car straight And yeah, this does look a good model, but there are its fundamental flaws, as you'd expect with any model really. If it's not a Minichamps or Mattel, there do tend to be flaws, and I have found one here. It's a bit iffy that the whole gearbox crash structure is very loose and a bit iffy actually. But yeah, if you are going to go for a Renault R29, I would suggest a Minichamps version if you are into build quality and things like that, or realism, because the Norev one just cuts it short with the specification of car they went by, i.e. pre-season testing car. But yeah, and this is the Alonso version. I haven't seen the PK version, whether they did do a version for Nelson Piquet, I'm not sure, but the only thing that distinguishes it between the two drivers is the number and the very small name badge on the top of the headrest. There's no drivers in the cars. I think Norev released the 143rd scale models with drivers, but the 118s I don't know why they didn't release them with the drivers in. But yeah, overall it's not a bad model, and the price range, it does vary. If you go for Minichamps, £40–50, maybe cheaper than that on a good day. The Norev version is anyone's guess because they don't come up very often. But yeah, and also be careful because this one does get released as the R30 show car as well, painted in the red and yellow stripes, black and yellow stripes rather. Not red and yellow, black and yellow, black. Basically the Bumblebee. And yeah, this one does get painted in the as a show car, so be careful with that because it does state on the box that it is the R30, but it's not. It's actually just this car painted up. So be careful with that. But I will do a review of the R30 later on, which is quite another poor quality. Let's not say poor quality, just not very well detailed model. And I will do a review of that one at a later date. Kind of lost my train of thought there. But yeah, if you're going to go for an R30, then yeah, go for Minichamps. If you're not too fussed, then by all means go for this one. It's not a bad model. Just like I said, it has a few flaws, but it does look good. And the front wheels are a bit loose, which is a bit iffy. But yeah, it's not bad. You know, it will look good in a collection. I mean, on a shelf with all the other models, it will blend in quite nicely and does look good. But if you're anal about your quality, then of course go for Minichamps. But anyway, that's my review, that's my opinion, and that's what I've got to say on the matter. But that's that. But I will return with another review. And of course, if you've got a car in mind that you want me to review, then I shall suggest it, and I shall look if I've got it and review it, of course. But anyway, that's it for now. Of course, this is Rich signing off, logging off, disappearing, and I shall return with another review. So bye for now.